Hello and welcome everybody, I am One Proper Varian and today I will give you a quick rundown on what you gotta know about diplomacy in Victoria 3 to start out strong. We will be taking a look at the starting position of the Netherlands. Starting as the Dutch, you will rule over your European homelands and Luxembourg, some minor colonies in Africa and South America, and then the crown jewel of your empire, the Dutch East Indies. All of this must be protected, and for that we can use diplomacy. We will start with the basics and then work our way through lobbies, subjects and power blocks. When you start a campaign, you should first examine what the attitudes and relations between you and your neighbors are like. While attitudes mainly reflect the future intentions a country has towards another country, the relations describe the current reality of it. Britain, for example, is wary of us, but we actually have decent relations with them, which means that we are safe for now. However, Britain's goal is likely to antagonize us and to limit our expansion going forward. Once you have taken in the situation and figured out who you want as an ally and an enemy going forward, here's what you need to know about diplomacy. To even interact, countries must have an active interest in a shared region. You will have an interest in the regions in which you or your vassals hold land and can declare more limited by your rank and size of your navy. Your rank is determined by the amount of prestige that you have, which is gained largely by your military and economy. You can take positive and negative diplomatic actions towards other countries. Some diplomatic actions are instantaneous. Many others are continuous actions. This means that they are either a negative or positive activity that has to be maintained, like increasing relations or embargoing another country. Those actions, to be maintained, will cost you a resource called influence. Should you ever find yourself out of influence, you should cut down on active relations or declare more countries your rivals, as that will also result in more influence capacity. You should also be aware that hostile actions like expelling a country's diplomats or making many demands during a war will give you something called infamy. If your infamy ever hits 100, the great powers of the world will soon form a coalition against you and attempt to dismantle your entire empire. So if you were to accrue a lot of infamy, making sure that your infamy decays quickly by having a significant surplus of influence can be an excellent choice, instead of investing it into active relations. Your country's citizens also have opinions on who should be friend and foe. This is expressed in the form of lobbies. Lobbies show that interest groups of a country feel positively or negatively about another country. Taking actions related to that country will then either appease or agitate the interest groups within the lobby. You should take this into account, as a powerful interest group being agitated by your hostile action towards a country they favor could very well be the push they need to start a revolution against you. Lobbies can also be useful and open up diplomatic opportunities that you may not have had access to otherwise. You can also, of course, fund lobbies in other countries to turn neutral countries into your allies, as otherwise the interest groups that like you might rebel. So, as the Netherlands, it may be wise to seek good, continuous relations with countries like Prussia, Russia and France, so that you have a strong continental ally protecting you, while you focus on exploiting your overseas colonies. Speaking of which, the Dutch East Indies are a massively beneficial colony of ours, and managing them correctly is important for our success. Subjects in general are useful as they give some of their income to the overlord, may participate in the overlord's wars, and deliver valuable resources to your economy. In the subject menu, you can take a look at what subjects you have, what type they are, and whether they are unruly. Their liberty desire will fall if you maintain good relations, are stronger than them, and keep them economically dependent on you. This happens especially if you produce things that they are not producing but are consuming, or if you simply directly own their buildings via foreign investment. You can additionally impose new laws on your vassals in this menu and take actions that will influence their liberty desire. Should the Dutch East Indies ever grow unruly, a good option is to conquer the local powers in Indonesia. You can then hand over the territory to the Dutch East Indies, driving down liberty desire significantly. Now, last but not least, a massive additional tool for your diplomacy are power blocks that can be created by major and great powers. Power blocks are tools with which to build and customize your empire. The leader of a power block can choose its identity and additional principles that are earned over time, with the speed being determined by the cohesion of the block. Cohesion works different depending on the power block's identity, so make sure to look that up in the tooltip. While vassals will always join your power block automatically, other countries will either have to be forced by turning them into a subject as well, or be pulled into your block after you build enough leverage on them. Leverage is claimed whenever you strengthen your bond with a country, be it via diplomacy or through connecting your economies through trade and foreign investment. When your bond with a country is so much stronger than that of any other power block that your leverage advantage has reached plus 200 points, you can then invite that country into your power block, adding them to your sphere of influence. This way, the Netherlands can add a variety of countries to their empire without ever firing a single shot. As a country like the Netherlands, it will be important to play the diplomatic game correctly so that you can get any advantage possible. Especially smaller countries like this one should focus a lot on making strong allies and picking their enemies wisely. If you play your cards right, Belgium will stop existing soon and you can once more proclaim the United Netherlands. This was everything that you need to know about diplomacy to get started, so go and build your glorious Dutch empire. I am One Proud Bavarian, and I'm here to say, make sure to subscribe to the official Victoria 3 channel and go have some fun. For now, I will see you later, alligator.